Okay, let's look at the Unit 23 grammar notes, which are on pages 400 and 401. Conditions in conditional sentences are sometimes implied rather than stated directly in an if clause. Conditions may be implied by using but for, if not, if so, otherwise, with, without, etc. For example, your brother may be lonely. If so, he should join a singles group. Okay, this means the same thing as if he is lonely, he should join a singles group. In a sentence with an implied condition, there is no change in the result clause. So Mary needs to be part of the decision, otherwise she'll never be happy. So here is the result clause, and here is the same idea expressed with if. If Mary isn't part of the decision, she'll never be happy, and the result clause is the same. As with other conditional sentences, the condition may precede or follow the result clause. Okay. With a little extra communication, you can solve the problem. You can solve the problem with a little extra communication. So you can put this clause first and use a comma. Unreal conditions with had, past perfect, should, and were are sometimes expressed by deleting if and inverting the subject and the verb. So if I had known he was lazy, I wouldn't have roomed with him. Another way to say that that's a little bit more formal and less common is, had I known he was lazy, I wouldn't have roomed with him. But they mean the same thing. If there is an inverted condition, there is no change in the result clause. If I were to accept the job, I would insist on benefits. Were I to accept the job, I would insist on benefits. As with other conditional sentences, the inverted condition clause can precede or follow the result clause. So, I can say, if I were to move, I'd have to get a new roommate. Okay, here this is the if clause or the adverb clause that goes first, and then there's the comma. If it goes second, there's no comma. I'd have to get a new roommate if I were to move. Something got left out here. I'm going to pause and put it in. So going back to this, now that we've got both examples, with the if clause, if I were to move, I'd have to get a new roommate. Or with the inverted verb, were I to move, I'd have to get a new roommate. Here I have the dependent clause first with a comma. If I put the main clause first, there's no comma. I'd have to get a new roommate if I were to move. Or in the inverted form, I'd have to get a new roommate were I to move. Okay, note the inverted conditional sentences with should imply that an action or event is unlikely to happen. This is another meaning of should that we haven't really talked about. The meaning of should in this type of sentence is much different from its usual meaning. Should something go wrong, we need a backup plan. And what this means is it's unlikely that something will go wrong, but we need to be prepared. Be careful, negative inversion is formed by adding not after the inverted verb and subject. Don't contract not and the verb. Okay, had I not received the phone call, I wouldn't have been able to help. And what this means is if I had not received the phone call, I wouldn't have been able to receive I wouldn't have been able to help. And 2 stars means it's wrong. We don't contract this. We don't say, hadn't I received the phone call. It has to be had I not. There's no contraction for this when you have an inverted verb with not. Okay, we'll stop here.